welcome back to the fourth episode of Down to Earth. It is me, your main host, Gabriel, and I'm here joined by
Caleb
and Ian.
All right. And welcome to our new setup for a little bit. It might not be permanent, but you know we're exploiting as much as we can right now.
I would be fine if it's permanent.
Well, you know what, bud? That's not our decision. So. All right. But today, you know, not same topics, different topics, same style of kind of conversation. So, Caleb, what do you want to talk about? Was there something you want to talk about today?
I have a lot to talk about, but one thing I want to talk about is I think the audacity of homeless people nowadays is crazy.
What happened, bud? How did they wrong you? Did they take your bathtub again or something?
No, well, first of all, I was at the store the other day, and there's these homeless people. They had the sign. Like, they used to like hold up the sign and pull out of work. It was like, hey, we actually want you to give us money. They were on TikTok. They were scrolling through TikTok, and they were just holding up the sign. Like, they were reacting to videos. And I was like, at least make it seem like people want to give you money. But no, I was in Greenville, South Carolina the other day. Took my lovely lady, and we were on a date. This dude came up to me, and he was like, you guys look cute together. And we haven't had a lot of like public outings. So I was like, oh, thank you. And then he like, he like elbow bumps me. And then he was like, what's up, Mike? And then he was like, well, I was going to call you. And he says my N-words. But I don't want to call you that. And so apparently I'm not worthy.
I mean,
look,
can you blame him?
Look at you, Caleb.
I know. Look at you. Can you blame him?
You are that table.
Yeah.
But then he was like, well, I was like, okay, what's he going to ask me for? And then he was like, I'm not going to ask you guys for money or anything. I'm like, oh, okay, good. Like, whatever. He's like, there's a mellow mushroom down the road. Do you mind putting an online order in for me? And I was like, you choose the most expensive fucking pizza? Out of every other pizza I could give you, I just had a pizza, $3 a slice. Choose mellow mushroom. Most expensive pizza. I was like, I told him I said no. I said no. It pissed me off. Like, used to, it was like, hey, can of beans. It was like, no, I want $20 mellow mushroom pizza, and I want you to put it in online. I want you to put my name down for it. I want you to tip the person. And then, so I was going to make an account and everything. So I felt bad, but it was like, the audacity, it's crazy.
I mean, this is like that story. Did I tell you about the story when I drove away from that homeless guy that thought I was going to give him a ride?
No,
you did what?
Let me know.
So it was when I was living in Nashville, and I'd get off of work like at 12:30 because I was closing a restaurant, and I closed back of house. So then I was just driving home. I was pulling out of a Taco Bell parking lot, and then this dude was walking by the street. He was going to cross the street before I pulled out, and then I was like, I just pulled up, stopped, and like kind of gave him a signal, kind of gave him a little wide, like, you go on, just cross. And then I guess he thought he meant I was going to like come over here. So then he started walking to my door, and then I just thought, like, oh, he doesn't need to cross. So then I just drove away. I looked back, and he's like giving like hand signals at me, like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm not, what?
You sure were you going to give this guy a ride, or was he going to rob you?
I mean, if he was trying to rob me, I don't think he'd be like, what the hell, man? I think he'd be like, rats or something. Rat. Darn. But no, it's like, but yeah, I just drove away, and I'm like, bro, it's 12:40 at night, past midnight in Nashville.
Just a sketchy time.
Yeah, in Nashville. I'm not gonna give anybody a ride home.
So speaking of homeless people, back when I used to work for the other sports retailer, we'd go do inventories, and we went to Asheville, and they let us outside for smoke breaks, and at the time I vaped. I don't now, but I walk outside, and the lady goes, "Hey, whatever you do, do not lock that door behind you." I was like, "Why?" She goes, oh, well, we had a couple people walk outside a little bit ago, and there was two homeless guys fighting each other with machetes out back. And I was like, what? And she was like, yeah. She's like, if you see anybody carrying like a machete, I was like a long sword? Like, are they going to come after me medieval type? And she was like, no. She's like, if you see anybody, just come back inside and close the door. And I was like, and lock it? And she was like, and lock it. And I was like, okay. That's the sketchy part of town we're in.
As someone who is from right near Asheville, that's like, doesn't even scratch the surface.
That's crazy to me, man.
But the last time, I hate Asheville with a passion because they're like a big city. I'm from a small town, so they like shit on us. But last time I was there was like 2 years ago, and this dude in a banana costume chased me.
In a banana costume?
In downtown, just started screaming at me and running after me. So that sums up Asheville right there.
Okay.
I've always been told it's good to work in Asheville. You don't live there though. That's the thing.
You live in.
Stay away from Asheville.
Oh, I won't say the towns because that's where I'm from. I don't want to out them. Question: can someone explain the damn solar flare to me?
Solar flare?
Because I heard it was like, because I have T-Mobile, my phone didn't go out.
So this happened to my mom.
Was that why AT&T went out earlier today?
So buddy we work with that over receiving comes up to me this morning. He goes, "Hey, my phone's on SOS mode. Do you know anything about this?" So I looked up Apple support. I was like, "How do I take his phone out of SOS mode?" Didn't have a way for me to take it out. So I was like, "Man, I don't know." He's like, "You know where the AT&T store is?" I said, "Yeah, it's right outside. Like you can literally walk to it from where we're at."
Can you?
Yeah. So he goes on his lunch. He comes back to me, dude, and he goes, "You know what they told me?" I said, "What?" And he said, "They told me that a solar flare had passed Earth and knocked out AT&T iPhone service." And I said, "What?" And I have an iPhone and I have AT&T. He said it was every one of them after 13.
Yeah,
had gone out.
one of my classmates, he was arguing, he was being annoyed because his service went out earlier today too, and he didn't know the reason why.
How do you take out only iPhones with it? Like a solar flare only takes out iPhones.
It's only AT&T too. It wasn't like Verizon or anything else.
Well, no, Verizon did have connectivity issues for a little bit.
I think I did notice that because as I was driving home after class today, I wasn't able to load music or anything like that.
It may have been affecting that stuff too, man. But I just
didn't
thought it was
affect me.
super sketch. Like,
because T-Mobile doesn't have any satellites anyways.
Then how do I have service?
I'm just kidding, bud.
Oh, okay.
It's a diss on T-Mobile, but
I mean, yeah. So, do I have T-Mobile? Hold on, let me look.
Do you not pay your own phone bill?
Well, I'm an airplane phone. I guess I'll never know. I T-Mobile because they do T-Mobile Tuesday. I pay for a lot of things. Phone is not one thing I pay for. I'm also 5 years younger than both of you.
That's true.
He's 4 years. You're 4 years younger.
4 years younger than me.
I'm 5 years younger than you.
Yeah.
But hey,
Put some respect on my name.
I pay for my own place.
That's true.
I pay for a lot of things.
Give him props. You know?
And I just graduated college. I'm getting
He's already gone through a divorce, lost half his property.
My bath mat, my shower curtain, the thing that divides silverware. I kept the bed somehow.
Throw back to episode 3. The plunger's gone.
The plunger was gone. Who the hell takes a plunger?
That's nasty.
Bro, I shit more than she does.
Before she took it?
Huh?
Did she at least bag it up before she took it?
I don't know. I thought you meant back it up. I was like, I don't remember her backing up the toilet.
Like, I ain't putting that thing in my car without anything covering it.
No shot. Huh?
Well, we all know she never bagged anything. That's why she got 2 STDs.
That's true. There you go.
Shots fired.
We're gonna need to edit that one out.
Do we though? It's all right.
I don't want to start beef.
I mean, are you showing? Does she know about this?
I haven't talked to her in like forever.
Then it don't matter.
Hey, good things. Good things.
Yeah, you haven't talked to her for forever.
No, good things came out of it. I'm very happy now.
There you go.
I'm very, very happy now.
Yep. He learned that he's not racist, and he's happy with another girl who has a better body shape that he always talks about.
Oh man, that thing. Also, Gabe, I have beef with you right now.
What did I do?
You edited out all the sweet parts from our last episode, and that got me in trouble.
What sweet parts?
There were so
many. There were so many good sweet parts where Ian was like, "Oh, I've never seen him this happy" and all this stuff. Where the hell was that, man? Where the hell was that?
All she got was the thought stories from the fuckboy face.
All she got was me going,
I
was talking to 50 girls.
There was 2 hours worth of content, bro.
And you couldn't have left it in 10 minutes of sweet moments?
That's 10 minutes of an hour.
I thought this was going to get me severely laid. Instead, it got me severely not talked to.
Okay, how about I'll send you the entire clip.
Please do.
I'll send you the entire audio clip.
I'm going to listen back to
proof.
It. Bro, I need proof. I was like, bro. I was telling her, I was like, talk to Ian. She's like, who the fuck's Ian?
It's the guy that introduced himself as a baseball player. Did you not listen?
Oh, yeah. Former. Wait, what position were you?
I was a pitcher, dog.
That's crazy. What was the fastest you could throw? I thought you were.
I think the fastest I ever got clocked was like 86, 87. I didn't throw a whole bunch of heat, man. I was more of like placement and like I had a whole bunch of stuff that moved.
Yeah. So like, could you throw it through that ring light right now? But you're standing outside.
How far is that?
Wait, bro, that's not even a normal pitcher
feet.
throw.
Dude, pitching mound is 60 feet, 6 inches.
How much?
60 feet, 6 inches. So no, from 97 feet away, I could not make it through that maybe 7, 8 inch like cross light. Now, somebody in major leagues probably could. I mean, if you give me like 50 tries, I'm sure I could hit it once or twice.
Those tubby bitches could not do that.
Dude, don't get into
Don't
this.
even get me started on baseball. Athletes. Do not even get me. No, baseball players are athletes, barely.
I just don't understand why they need to take steroids.
Hey, bro, if you ever saw Mark McGwire, you understand why motherfuckers took steroids. That man was hitting balls 500 feet, 76 of them a year. But,
all right, well, in the meantime, talking about sports, let's get into the all-star sports that you guys were talking about. So, what you want to bring it up? So, what are your thoughts about it?
I'll say my thoughts real quick, right? All-Star Weekend, obviously, like, I'm not a real American because I like soccer more. But
football.
I thought you said the Boston Celtics with your team, though.
I mean, no, I love the Boston Celtics more than I love my own mother. But I don't know. Okay, so All-Star Weekend, I think it's because I have good memories of it when I was a kid. Because my dad played basketball in college, so like I grew up loving basketball.
Like around the sport.
Yeah, like even though he's 5'6", he played college basketball. And shooter though, I'm telling you, this man could shoot.
Let it fly.
Oh yeah. But so when I was a kid, All-Star Weekend, I looked forward to every year. I was like, Dad wins All-Star Weekend. It was never North Carolina. The one year is in North Carolina. It was so expensive, and that was an amazing All-Star game. The year they had it in Charlotte, which was like
a while back.
I think it was 2019. I think it was 2019 when they had it. Yeah. But J. Cole performed, and I missed out on that.
Mm-hmm. That's why he remembers.
Was that the J. Cole? He tried to dunk.
Yeah, he rim grazed it, but I mean, he literally got out of a chair,
was
picked
in
it
a
up.
full hoodie, sweatpants, no warm up, probably 20 pounds of dreads on his head, and still almost threw that shit.
Yeah, that's what happens when you have melanin.
I don't know what that is.
That's what makes you dark.
Oh,
okay. What a way to be racist, but not racist at the same time.
I'm not racist.
Your girlfriend's gonna hate you, Caleb.
She's not listening to that anymore. She doesn't know the name. I covered the name the whole time.
You just let her listen to it?
I just let her listen, and she would like peek around. No. But okay, so All-Star Weekend when I was a kid, like it was my favorite weekend of the year. I like Super Bowl, whatever. All-Star Weekend, it was like that is what I cared about. My dad and I, we would watch. Like I remember him and I watching the Dwight Howard one when he did Superman
dunk. Yeah.
Obviously I wasn't old enough to like for like Vince Carter, but like I loved Vince Carter. Like if I had remembered, I would wear my Vince Carter jersey today.
This is the thing that makes me so sad about All-Star Weekend is with TikTok, Instagram Reels, and everything, you see all these throwbacks to when the All-Star game was competitive and people were into it, and you saw people locking people up in the All-Star game, playing their hardest. And nowadays, like,
yeah,
it makes me so sad as a fan of the NBA to watch the best players in the world go out there and like literally defense isn't a part of the game.
Well, and they were. I saw Anthony Edwards. I saw multiple guys sit down in their press conference and go, yeah, no one tries. I'm like, it starts with you. Yeah, it starts with you. So don't complain about no one trying. You're in the game. Like there are,
you can change
what is it 24 people, or is it 24 or 26 people? I think it's 26 people playing in this game.
With reserves,
no one else in America is playing it except for you. If we can't care more, and that contributes to the effort. Like it starts with you. Like don't complain about effort when you're the one not putting in effort.
So this brings me to the counter argument. Is these players have played the whole entire first half of the year, injuries happen, everything like that. Of course, there's all-star reserves. You get to the all-star game.
How are they supposed to care?
How are they supposed to care when they're risking the rest of their season on a game that means nothing to them? There's nothing at stake at the all-star game. They're going out there strictly for the fans.
This is one thing that I was talking about with another topic that I want to talk about later about the face of the NBA after everyone leaves. This is the game to show who you are.
Yeah.
To show in the same court with LeBron, Durant, everyone else to show who you are and what you can do.
Well, the Rising Stars was good for that too. And then they switched up the format. Now it's like painful to watch.
Well, going back to that, show who you are. I think that would be a great opportunity to show who you are. If you were Anthony Edwards and you went out there and you're like, you know what, I'm going to become the next face of the league.
Yeah.
You walk out there and you drop 60 points, but no one is playing defense. You can go out there and try your hardest. You can go out there and put on an amazing show, go 10 from 10 from 3, dunk the ball, and people are going to say, oh, it's just in the All-Star game. No one's playing defense.
Well, that happened last year. Tatum won MVP. He dropped 64.
Yeah, most points in All-Star game.
I think it was 64.
History.
But it was most points in All-Star history, but it was like, who cares?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, he could do that in a real NBA game.
The highlight of the All-Star weekend for me was Mac McClung going back-to-back. That wasn't even that exciting. That's how far the All-Star game
That's
has
the sucky thing. It's the dunk contest is my favorite thing in All-Star weekend. Yeah, I mean, I don't. If it gets shittier and shittier, I don't care. I'm still gonna devote time to it because it means a lot to me. But it pisses me off that yes, I know Jaylen Brown didn't do amazing. He could have done better. But we had a star performing and he got made fun of. But the thing is, like, I know his dunks weren't amazing, but he still like was being creative with it.
Hey, bro, man put a glove on his left hand when nobody said he had a left hand.
That's the thing. He was still getting creative.
Hilarious.
Like, the 2019 one I love so much because John Collins jumped over a plane.
A plane?
Yeah, because North Carolina's first in flight. He jumped over a plane.
Okay.
So like when people get creative with it, I enjoy it. I love it. Was it 2019? Maybe in 2020.
All I'm saying is your boy went out there and dunked over the shortest man in the arena in Kai Cenat. I mean, it's like
but it was still fun.
You were 5'6", bro, and you towered
I'm not
over this
5'6".
You
Don't
were 5,
even,
my bad,
bro.
my bad.
I'm 5'8", 5'9", 5'9" on Tinder when I had Tinder.
You know he gets about his height.
That's true. My bad. My boy is 5'8" and 2/4. He likes 2/4 more than a half.
My girl gets like we're eye to eye. We're like the exact same height. She was like, I'm like 5'5", 5'6", and I'm like, no, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not.
Don't tell yourself that.
No, you're not. Well, it's funny. She's only ever been with guys who are 6 foot plus.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I look at her every day. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing with me,
man? Some people like the little white.
She's like, well, I love you.
Just questioning, just be thankful, bro.
Be thankful.
Yeah, you're right. I know she loves me. I gotta stop questioning.
Exactly.
There you go.
If you trust her and she trusts you, then you shouldn't worry about anybody else.
And you better keep this in.
I'll keep it in.
Yeah,
I'll keep this part in.
Caleb's girlfriend, he really is a good guy. I promise.
No, I'm actually going to have a voice edit. Caleb just talking shit all the time.
No, you know what we did last night? You know what our date was?
What?
This is how good of a boyfriend I am, right? I bought us all this stuff, got us food. I had to get her to pick it up, but I DoorDashed it, like DoorDash pickup. And I took her out. We painted during the sunset.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
Did you get an appetizer?
It was Subway.
Oh, okay.
The question still stands. Did you get an appetizer?
Did you get any cookies? But yeah, going back to the All-Star
but I had some cake
game.
later, if you know what I mean.
Oh my God.
All right.
Edit out.
Yeah, we'll edit
I actually
that
didn't
out.
because then she watched my podcast. It wasn't too happy. For our podcast.
The All-Star game to me has fallen so much that it's going to take almost a complete reset of the mental attitude. I've been seeing people say that they should put home court advantage of the finals on the line.
That's interesting to me.
Do you think so? Baseball, I think, proposed that a while ago, so they don't do it now.
Okay.
Proposed it a while ago that home field advantage of the World Series should be on the line. I think that's a great idea.
I think it's a good idea, but I don't think it's fair because I think at the end of the day, Jamal Murray was not an All-Star. He's not an All-Star. Who knows if he's ever going to be an All-Star? He's an NBA champion.
Mm-hmm.
And he worked his ass off. Him and Michael Porter Jr., him and Nikola, which I know Jokic is an All-Star, but like no one on that team is all that spectacular, but they play amazing basketball and they deserve to have home court advantage. Which I know they're not the one seed right now.
I get your point, Caleb, but if you're number one in the West, like the Nuggets are, and you're going to have an All-Star, and that should come down to your main guy,
That's
Jokic, going to the All-Star game. He wants that home court advantage, and we want to make the All-Star game competitive again. He needs to play for it.
Well, there were 4 Celtics in All-Star voting this year. KP and Derek White barely missed out.
Exactly. So you get 4 Celtics in there. They think that they're going to be in the finals. They should be out there trying their ass off.
Yeah, but you got a guy like Trae Young. I mean, the Hawks are, what are they, 10th? Like,
Maybe.
It's not going to matter to him.
So exactly. You get
if
someone
you're in the
like
East, you want the East to win.
You get someone like Trae Young who's playing a season, who's putting up 26 and 10 every night. He's averaging, I think, around 26 and 10. And he has to go back to the Hawks and play meaningless basketball for the rest of the year. Why not give him something to play for while he's at the All-Star game?
Well, and the thing is, if you're in the East, you cheer for the East. If you're in the West, you cheer for the West.
Exactly.
That's how it works. Like
exactly.
Like you want your conference to be the best conference.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting. What do you think about Sabrina Steph?
I thought that I watched that and I thought that was amazing. I thought Sabrina going out there.
Did she shoot from the men's?
She shot from the men's.
She wasn't supposed to.
Yeah, she shot from the men's.
NBA posted on Instagram said she was shooting from the women's. And then they said she was supposed to shoot from the women's because I read all the comments. It was like, why didn't she shoot from the men's? And then, but the thing is,
she wanted to.
During the broadcast though, Kenny Smith was like, "Oh, she needs to shoot from the men's next time." So did she shoot from the men's?
She shot from the men's.
Everybody
has been saying she shot from the men's, and that's why Stephen Curry was so respectful for her because she was shooting from the men's and only lost by 3.
Well, she also tied the winning score of the NBA 3-point contest, which is unreal.
That's insane.
Unreal. Like she was unreal.
You got to think about that. That brings us to Caitlin Clark breaking the all-time scoring record in Division I women's history. She said, "I when I saw her say, you knew I was going to pull it from the logo to break the record. I was like, that woman's a baller. Like I hoop pretty consistently, and women come out there and they people underestimate them, and they go out there and hoop, man.
I mean, it's the same way with female soccer players. Like they're more fierce than people would think they are.
Yeah,
they play with a different kind of intensity.
They don't have physicality, but there's
different aspects. But the thing I love about Caitlin Clark is like a lot of times women kind of shoot weird. Like they shoot from the hip, and it's kind of weird. Like I'm sure
It's a
you
load
get
up.
yeah,
It's a load up
they
to the
shoot
shot.
they shoot weird. But the thing about her she shoots amazing.
I
love it. And the thing is she can
mean,
she can
no
do everything. She can
disrespect
drive
by this,
in.
but she shoots like a guy. She shoots like a dude, bro. She there's no load up. There's no like let me hip check down and go into my shot. She shoots like a dude. And every time I watch women's basketball, if I see somebody on the court that's moving different and they have that quick midi pull up, I know they can already shoot threes because, like you said, most women catch the ball, and as soon as they catch the ball, it's a load up or a step into their shot.
Well, my dad coached varsity girls basketball for like 5 years, so I was around that. Like I was at every game, so like I know a lot of women's basketball. Caitlin Clark shoots like she has a dick, and I don't mean that. Like I watch women's basketball. I don't care. Like I love women's college basketball. I watch a lot of women's sports, but she shoots like she has a dick. Caitlin Clark does. She's amazing. Yeah. She is she is unreal. Like I swear to God, she could start for the Pistons.
So that I wanted to bring that up. Do you think that we'll ever get to a point where like there's a unisex league?
I feel like if anything, they would just implement that into like the All-Stars game.
You think
to where
so?
They would,
I think
like,
that'd be fun.
Because they just eventually, because
I think that would actually be fun as hell.
With her like competing at the men's free throw line or whatever, the 3-point line, I think that will like influence people to start trying to do more mixed competitions. Eventually, get to mixed games and the All-Stars and do.
I feel like eventually it's going to be like, because right now like we're putting women in men's All-Star stuff. I would be fine if like maybe at the end of this season, like there was just like a one-night event where they did everything for men and women combined. And so like I don't want it I don't want the men to impede on the women's All-Star because they worked hard. They worked their ass off. They have a long season too.
They deserve their own.
But also
game,
men, like the men's NBA, the NBA, like also work their ass off. The night should be about them. I think honestly it'd be cool if honestly if they did like a combined weekend or a combined night. Yeah, like you do. I mean, you could make it work.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You can make it work.
I think this was a massive step in the direction of like, I wouldn't say equality, but like bringing attention to women's basketball. I guess in a sense equality, because you see her come out there and shoot at the men's 3-point line. A lot of people would have thought that hurt their chances, and like you said earlier, Caleb, she tied the winning scorer of the 3-point contest,
Damian Lillard,
which is
Damian freaking Lillard.
Exactly. One of the best shooters in the NBA, probably second behind Curry. He's had a down year this year, but resume-wise,
he still had some Dame time shots.
Oh yeah, he's had at least 2 game winners.
Early in the season when they played the Kings, like they came back by like 5 in the last minute.
Is that where he faded from like almost the logo?
Yeah, it was kind of like what he did against OKC, just on the different side of the court.
So that brings up with Damian Lillard, because the Milwaukee Bucks. The question for you, because clearly the Boston Celtics, they're ranked as like the number 1 team.
Oh, they're going
to win everything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Damian Lillard and Giannis clearly isn't working out right now, as well as Doc Rivers? Dumb hire, in my opinion.
So
I don't think.
Unless they click, because I think if they start clicking, they could be the biggest threat for the Celtics. But as of right now, who would be the biggest threat for y'all?
I don't think anyone in the East is a threat.
Really?
I think
you guys will just go straight to the finals.
I think
easily?
the West. I think we talk about this.
You don't think if the 76ers get Embiid back, that won't do anything?
No, it's never going to do anything. The Sixers are never going to be able to do anything.
If Embiid comes back, it's going to be rushed right after he comes back off of meniscus surgery, and you got to think. People think, okay, well, his meniscus is fine now. The man's got to get back in playing shape. He's 285 naturally. You take him off the court for a month, he's not able to move. He just had surgery. He's probably going to be more around 300 if he's trying to stay in shape. You have to work yourself back into playing shape. The 76ers for me are a non-issue for the Celtics. They
were saying, like, according to like just predictions about when he might be back, he would only be able to play like 2 or 3 games before the postseason starts.
And I think you don't put your star athlete back out there after a surgery.
Well, he's also
like
not
that.
24. He's also he's 28.
Yeah, he's close to
like
30.
you take time. But my thing is, he's already out of MVP voting anyways. Take your time.
Yeah, take your time getting back.
This is a weird
if you have to
Sixers
come
year.
back the second round of the playoffs, if the Sixers can find their way through the first round of the playoffs, I think that would be a decent time to bring him back. But if I'm the Philadelphia 76ers, if I'm the GM, I'm shutting down Joel Embiid for the rest of the year.
But I mean, that's the reason they did the meniscus surgeries, to get him back in the first place. They made that trade, which was more like a rental trade, really.
What, for Pat Bev?
Yeah. So just until he gets back is all they did.
Yeah.
So clearly they're planning on him to be back for the postseason,
which is fine. I mean, there's the thing. Let Maxey do his thing.
That's for me. Like, it's like they have hired medical staff who know way hell more than I do about medical.
You're
stuff
also talking about the same medical staff that instead of saying, "Hey, he has a meniscus tear," and just telling the world, they said he has a misplaced flap in his meniscus because we don't want this to seem too out of hand.
Well, they're also the same ones that dealt with all the Ben Simmons back injuries.
Yeah, so, I know. And that man's still been out with back injuries.
He played one damn game and then he was already out.
Don't get me started on Ben Simmons. But my next topic, instead of the 76ers, the greatest threat I see in the East to the Celtics.
If you say the Heat, I'm going to lose.
No, the New York Knicks.
The Knicks are popping, but the Knicks, in the Knicks history, they're not a playoff team. You let
in the 90s they were.
Oh, I don't care about the 90s. I'm talking about right now. You let 6'1" Trae Young come into your house.
That's Jalen Brunson, dog.
Oh, no.
When you talking about Trae Young taking over New York?
Yeah, was it 2021 or 2022?
That was 2021. That's the only run that the Hawks had to the Eastern Conference Finals.
That was crazy.
I think again you go back. They didn't have Jalen Brunson yet. I don't think.
No, I think no. I wonder if the biggest threat in the East is the Knicks, but I don't think it's going to be an issue.
Do you think it would probably be like a comfortable Game 7 win or like a comfortable Game 5 win?
Here's the thing: is the Knicks are going to. I don't think it'd be Game 5. I think maybe 6. But the thing about the Knicks, right, is the Celtics. It's never a huge issue for them. The only time it was ever an issue is when RJ Barrett played.
Well, they don't have him anymore.
That's the thing. They don't have RJ Barrett anymore.
But they got OG Anunoby.
Which Anunoby's amazing against the Celtics because when they were in the bubble, he was playing for the Raptors. And he was one of the reasons that series went to 6. Because he hit the game winner. He was playing fine. But the Knicks 100% are the biggest team, the biggest threat in the East. But I still don't like. The thing is, this is not the Heat we're talking about. This is the number 1 seed, the greatest Celtics team, and the last since Paul Pierce was there. I mean,
you guys said the same thing last year.
Well, you got
last year's a weird year though. Last year's a weird year.
Kristaps. They added Derek White.
They offloaded a few people.
They got rid of Marcus Smart.
They got rid of their injury issues. Plus, Tatum got hurt in Game 7 against the Heat, which it never even should have went to 7. They should have never let those role players pop off. I think the biggest threat is the West. I think honestly, I think Tatum will win at least one in his career, but I think it's going to be kind of like when Paul Pierce was there. They would do fine in the East. They'd always play Kobe. I think that there are not. I'm not saying Kobe Bryant obviously is Kobe Bryant. I think the West has multiple Kobe's.
Do y'all
think going to be issues?
Talking about the West, and you're talking about people of Kobe Bryant stature. I don't think we can throw that around loosely because Kobe's top 5 all time, undisputed to me. But do you think there's a face out West that can become the face of the league, like we were talking about?
I think Luka definitely is the face of the league, but I don't think he's ever going to back it up.
That's the thing, because where a lot of people were talking about, because the face of the NBA comes with a lot, not only just consistently playing and everything, but you got to sell the league.
Yeah,
you got to be in the camera faces, you got to be passionate about it and stuff like that. And they were talking about how it's not impossible, but it's going to be pretty hard for foreign players like a Luka, like a Giannis to really be the face of the NBA.
Jokic doesn't even want to talk to anything. He just wants to go out there
so he can't be the face of the NBA.
And going back to that point,
and it's not Booker.
It's not definitely not Booker.
I love his shoes though. I know everyone hates him. I like him.
Jason Tatum with the interview saying if he gets MVP, he should be a shot. But people are already saying like you're not like a media person either. So like you can't really
he definitely is. He goes on podcasts all the time.
I'll tell you somebody that I would put.
But I mean, would he like be showing up like on Subway commercials like good old Steph?
He's a Subway athlete. He is a Subway athlete. He's on Subway commercials and he's a Ruffles.
That's true. So then he just needs to win something.
He needs to become more marketable in the fact of
he was number 2 jersey sales.
Not only I'm talking about like speaking to the camera. LeBron James went to All-Star Weekend and put on a show in front of the camera. He said he drew the most attention to the NBA by saying, "Hey, I don't know how long I'm going to be around. You better cherish me."
Do that,
yeah, that was the main talk after the NBA. It wasn't how garbage the All-Star show was. It was how much longer is LeBron going to be playing. That was the main story that came out. And then because of that story, it came out how much longer is Kevin Durant, Stephen Curry going to be playing? Who's going to be the next face? And
speaking
all that
of
stuff.
Bron,
which makes me sad.
Speaking of Bron, you know who I feel bad for though? Bronny.
Oh, is it because he's trash?
Because he's having a shit year and he deserves to stay more years.
I just see people saying he's not NBA level.
Well, he's averaging 5 points in Division I basketball.
There's people who do that in college basketball and go to the NBA and do just fine.
Well, you also got to consider in the fact that this man had a major heart problem before the season started. He had got off to a slow start, had to work his way back in. I think this year, and going on to our point of how much longer LeBron's going to be around in the league, he wants to play with his kid. He said it multiple times. But do you take your kid who's averaging 5 points coming back from something very serious like that and say, hey, go into the draft
you can't go
purely
back to
based
college.
off my name?
You can't go back to college.
You can't go back to college. Do you pull him out early just for the fact that you want to play with your son and get him on a good team? Or do you let him develop?
I mean, if it's like how serious was the heart thing?
Pretty bad.
Because if it was really bad, that could pretty much.
Well, all I know when it came out,
yeah,
they like controlled the media very well with it. But when it came out, he was practicing at USC, just hit the floor, man. Hit the floor, and they had to rush him to the hospital. Then he was fine, is what I heard, because not a whole bunch came out about it, but he was fine. LeBron said he was okay. They showed him like 2 or 3 days later, like playing the piano, like his coordination and everything seemed fine. But anything like that's super scary. Shaquille O'Neal's son went through a heart surgery, and you seen what that did to him.
Yeah, he's still like, I don't even know where he's at right now.
I don't even. He was at LSU, he may be in the G League.
I think he's in the G. Which, speaking of falling to the ground, they're having to work today.
What happened?
Someone was at the.
Did someone OD?
No, someone was at the place that sells guns. I don't want to identify it. But over in that area, and a guy with a real thick country accent who sells guns, who's also a father. Does that describe him?
Yeah.
Mustache?
Yeah.
You were on break, right?
Yeah, I was on break.
He was like, call 911 right now. Someone just went to the floor. And I thought shit was going down. And I walk over there. It was just this dude, and he was sitting on his knees.
You're lying.
Like, are you kidding me?
Absolutely lying.
I thought someone was going to get to watch someone die or something. And I was walking over, and the Deb comes over, and she was like, why is everyone just gawking? I'm like, because I thought someone was dying. Like, I thought I was going to get some action for once.
At a past sports retailer, I actually watched somebody pass away.
That's crazy.
Pass away?
It was one of the scariest things in my life, man. This dude was a really, really good dude.
Oh, you've actually told me about this.
He had blood pressure problems, and he was sweating really bad. And he always sweated really bad, but today it was like he was wet. And I was working the front end, and all of a sudden I hear my assistant manager go, Ian, can you please come over to the golf flat? This man's laying face down on the floor. Thank God, it's like a movie, man. A dude was like, I'm a doctor. And literally jumped in and started like giving him chest compressions and everything like that. And he spit up some green stuff out of his mouth, and just never saw him again, man. It was a really, really sad moment. And the crazy thing about retail, dude, they took him away in an ambulance, and we went on about our day.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to see him the next day, dude.
All we would have known at our work is that he pointed out.
Yeah. That's crazy.
That is crazy.
But, man, just goes to show you, dude, like, if you love somebody or, like, you're thinking about somebody, like, send them a text. Just tell them. You never know how
if you're in a fight with someone,
be.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, dude.
In the end of the day, it doesn't
unless
really
they stole
matter.
your child or something like.
Yeah,
unless they stole your legitimate livelihood.
Yeah,
unless they
murdered your cat
tried
or something.
to hurt you for, like, actually hurt you or, like, put you into a down place. If you have some beef with somebody, man, just squash it. It's not worth like
confront it, but not like act like physically confront, just verbally confront.
Yeah, just talk about it.
Just talk it out. Like, what's your issue with me, or what's your issue with the other person? Kind of things like that.
Speaking on that, and going to, I was watching the Shaq podcast the other day, and he was talking about that. Like he's brought it up multiple times, but with Kobe, but with also his sister. His sister was real sick. He walked up, was like, "Hey, is everything okay? Like, do you want me to come see you? I'm working tonight, but I can either come see you or something like that." She was like, "No, it's fine," because they know Shaq's the breadwinner. Like, he's got to work. He said that he was thinking about calling her and telling her he loved her that night. Woke up the next day, man, she's gone. It's just sad stuff. But also, speaking to that point, have y'all seen Shaq's viral quote?
No.
That
I saw. I can't remember who he was talking about, but he was just talking about like making sure he was basically just like, make sure you take care of your wife. Like he was like the one. He's like, I don't care how much I wanted my career. My biggest regret is not having a family or like destroying my family, destroying my marriage. That's the thing about Shaq. He's a funny ass dude. I love watching him on TNT. A lot of hurt behind those eyes.
Well, Shaq was raised up in a very. His stepdad was military drill sergeant. So you gotta think. Shaq was always taught, like, from my understanding of those kind of people, Shaq was always taught, hey, don't show your emotions on the outside. You're a big guy. Don't cry. Don't complain.
Yeah.
Get up and do what you need to do. And he even spoke to that. The quote that went viral from him was like, I've never confided in a woman. Like every time I've ever confided in a woman, they've thrown it back in my face. And then a couple minutes later in the podcast, he's like, yeah, going to Caleb's point, I lost my whole entire family and I'm sitting in a $90 million mansion by myself with nothing to do. So I wanted to ask y'all, who do you confide in whenever you're going through something really, really emotional? Who's your go-to?
My go-to would probably be my friend that lives in Nashville that I've known for about 10 years. We talk to each other about everything. Just I tell him more stuff about. He knows me more than my mom by now, probably. But yeah, because we've always been together. I've helped him out with his issues and things like that. We've been just through like our toughest times together. We've always been there for each other.
Basically, a brother more than a friend at this
Basically,
point.
like I like his family is my other family, legitimately.
Yeah.
Like
you could show up to their house and they'd be like, "Yeah, come eat."
For the wedding that I'm going to with his fiance, his family's paying for my suit and everything, so I don't got to pay for any of that. So that's like how much they care for me too, because they know what I've been through and stuff like that. So like without their without my friend and his family, literally I wouldn't be here. I'm just saying, like for real.
And going back to the point, I feel like whenever Shaq said that, I was like, man, you have to have somebody to confide in. Life's way too tough to go around holding everything in. I've had a really tough day today, and I know if I had to hold in every bit of emotion into my own body, I'd be such just like not a good person, man. Like, Caleb, who's your person? Who do you go to?
As of right now, I'm super close with my mom, but there's definitely a lot of things I can't always go to for my mom. So I'm definitely a person who holds it in a lot, and it is tough because you guys know what I went through. Yeah, like 6 months ago.
Yeah.
So like, it was mainly just me. So it was tough. But luckily, I mean, I'm getting to the point with my girlfriend. I can call her and be like, hey, like, because I had an issue with. I got screwed out of something with my grad school. I'm really pissed about that. And luckily, she was like the first person I was able to talk to about it. But it's definitely like if like to this day, like I'm not an emotional person. Like I don't have like the ability to cry. I mean, everyone's got the ability to cry, but like if I'm pissed or something, like I can never cry. Like it's tough. And there's days I look up and I'm like, why can't you not just let me cry? Like it would feel so good. But to this day, like if my mom like hugs me, I'll bawl. Like so she's like that person for me that I can always go to. Although I'm super close to my sister, so I can go to her a lot. But I'd say a lot of times my mom.
Yeah, I think like I don't cry with them talking to my friend, but I dump everything on him. But like if I were to say something serious to my mom, waterfalls come out of my eyes. Yeah. This is just how it is.
Especially if she like hugs me.
Yeah.
It's definitely, and that's just the crazy thing about like you think about like because you go every day, you kind of just think about man-made stuff or whatever, but you think about like biological like ingrained in you. It is crazy like that takes you back to like the womb.
Yeah.
Like just like a touch of a mother.
Yeah.
So I look forward to that, like, because my like, I know last episode we talked about my fuckboy phase and everything, but my like biggest dream in life, and I don't care what else happens in my life, I want to be a dad. So I would love to. I'm so
there with you, man. I want a kid so bad.
Like
man.
I want to raise them with good values to treat women amazing, but I want to get to the point like that he could talk to me about her, mainly he, but they could talk to me about anything.
I feel like I could be a good husband, but I definitely won't be a good dad.
Really?
I know for sure. Yeah.
I feel like people who say that to me, I always picture being good fathers. Like I have my best friend. Y'all know him, but Derek. He
who?
He would be a great father. I know he would, because going back to the thing of putting your like being able to confide in somebody and like share your emotions with somebody. I've known that man since I was 13 years old. Me and him have grown up together. If somebody asked me, like, "Hey, man, you gonna jump in front of that car to save him?" I would. I really would. Like, he's my brother, dude. And I've told him that before. And like, if I ever had anything, and I called this man at 3 a.m. in the morning, he'd answer. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like him and my brother are my two mainstays, like for emotional support in my life.
Do you know what Derek's penis looks like?
Why you got to bring this up all
No,
the
I'm
time?
just curious. Because a friend of mine...
Is it because I know how my friend looks like? So you got to bring that up? Okay.
But also, another friend of mine, you play basketball with him. He knows what all his friends' penises look like. I've never had that. I've never had a penis.
Bro, okay, not that.
I've never had a friend's penis that I've seen.
I've never like intentionally looked at Derek's penis, bro, but like I've known the man since I was 13.
Have you guys ever kissed?
No, bro. What? I've known the man since I was 13.
You guys are not
We've
friends.
changed in the same room before.
Well, that
you know
depends
what
on
I mean?
what kind of friends you got,
You ever been
Caleb.
inside
What are y'all doing in your North Carolina
I don't really have
town?
a lot of friends.
Cut out the next, the
like
last
really,
5
truly,
seconds, please.
all like me, like my closest friends, I work with them.
Fair enough.
Well, I think that goes back to just seeing someone every day. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
for sure.
like once you get to that status,
That's
where
the thing.
do
You
see each other
confide in
every
that
day.
random meth head, and then a year later, you don't even know him.
Exactly.
Like,
And they
there's
don't.
people
they
that when
don't
I first
even.
started,
They
I was
don't
close
even
with.
remember the conversation the next day if you tell them.
Yeah.
So.
I think we know who we're talking about.
That's the reason why Shaq helps the homeless.
Bro, one of my favorite Shaq stories actually is, so my whole family's from Florida. I was born in Florida. A lot of my family lives in Gainesville, Florida. And I was in Gainesville one time, and there,
Gainesville or Gaysville?
Gainesville. That's where
Gainesville.
UF is. That's
Okay.
where UF is.
Yeah.
And so there was this story where these kids were playing basketball on the street, and their neighbors called the cops on them. And so then they had to like stop. And then so Shaq, I was in Gainesville while this happened. I didn't get to see it, but it was just cool because I heard about it while I was there. And so Shaq went with the police because I mean they're just playing basketball on the street, and bought them like a brand new like
Goals.
rim and everything, and bought them a new basketball, and he like played basketball with them and stuff. So I thought, so he's, I think he does good things
like that.
Yeah, in
Like-
random places. Who the hell goes to Gainesville, Florida?
If y'all haven't heard this story, but Shaq was signed with
You keep saying
Reebok.
Zach, bro. You
My
keep
bad, bro.
saying Zach.
Shaq was signed with Reebok, dude, making millions of dollars, and he was just in a store one day, and some woman, some mother was trying to buy her kid some shoes, and she couldn't afford it, and she was just losing it. And Shaq was like, "Hey, I'll come up and I'll buy the shoes for you. Like, don't worry, like I'll take care of you." And she was like, "Well, it's not me that you need to take care of. What about all these young kids that can't afford your shoes, that look up to you and idolize you and want to be you?" So Shaq immediately went to Reebok, pulled his own contract out, and went to And One and made Shaq's. Like, you got to think that I respect Shaq so much for that, dude.
Well, and we sell those at our work, and
Yeah, I
they're
know,
$20. That's the thing is like,
And they're busted, bro. Don't get it wrong. They're busted ass
Yeah,
shoes.
Yeah, they look like trash.
No,
I don't know anything
bro,
about
some of them
sneakers,
are cool,
but
bro.
like,
Some of them are cool.
I mean, the quality
I've worn
is what I
Shaqs
meant.
before.
Quality is what I meant.
Yeah,
Not the style. I mean, the quality. They
I mean,
look
he's
like
got some
crap.
dope designs, man, but like, you can't be making this shit out of pleather.
that's the thing about life is like, even if you do not the most amazing things, because he's cheated.
Yeah.
I mean, he has admitted he's been a bad father before. Even if you like do bad things in life, you can always recover. Like if today you're having a bad day or you do something shitty, you can always just remember that in the back of your mind, bounce back from it, and make sure you're treating everyone. Because it's his thing. Yes, I hate the fact that he cheated. I hate the fact he's done horrible things. He's also helped hundreds of thousands of people.
Kobe basically the same thing.
Kobe
and
cheated on
people
Vanessa.
look at him like he's still like the godfather of the
Well,
NBA.
you can't speak ill about the dead too,
I mean,
especially
yeah.
as a man that was as great as Kobe.
He
and
still
like
came back and did
everything
good
No,
he's
because
things.
done.
that was like in 2002, but like you hear,
Yeah.
or like back then, but you hear like all the stuff he does like after 2010
Yeah.
and after, like he's done a lot of stuff.
That's the thing. If you do something bad, everyone makes mistakes. Just don't do it again and make sure you make up for it.
And take care of your mental health, guys. Like, even if that comes down to like you have 2 days off work and you got stuff planned both days, people want to hang out with you and everything, and you just need a me day. If you explain it to the people you love that you just need to be alone for a little bit, like, take care of your mental health.
Don't abuse it though.
Yeah,
Because there are people
don't use it as an
who
excuse.
need you in your workplace and need stuff. Like if you really need it, take it. Don't abuse it. Because there
Yeah.
are people who are really going to. I mean, I
Be
can name
truthful.
3 people right now from my hometown that have killed themselves in the last 2 months.
Really?
Yeah, like so it.
I'm sorry to
Don't-
hear that, man.
I mean, I didn't really like know them, so it didn't really affect me.
Yeah,
But it
but
affected
still,
people that I
I'm
love.
still sorry to hear that. Like, that's horrible.
Yeah, it sucks. But just, I mean, if you know your body, you know yourself. If you need it, take it. Don't abuse it. Because that's the biggest thing. Is like, so we don't talk about mental health more in America because it gets abused.
That's
Yeah.
true. It's like
That's-
that's a lot. That's just culture in America in general. They take something and then
They push it
somebody's like,
so
how do I
hard.
exploit this
Yeah.
for myself?
Which we,
Yeah.
I mean, we know people in our workplace, they exploit it so much. I'm not gonna name names, but he pisses me off with it. But this brings me to on our list is the Kansas City shooting, which it was kids and it was a fight. This doesn't have to do with other stuff.
it wasn't like it wasn't just like someone was like, I'm
Yeah.
gonna go to the parade today and start shooting people.
Yeah.
It
Now-
wasn't like that.
I mean, we've all grown up around guns. We sell guns at our workplace. I don't have any stance on guns. I'm not gonna tell you about guns.
I hope I'm technically certified now to sell them.
Yeah.
I did. She signed them.
That's
Do you
true.
know?
That's
But
true.
there-
I have no idea.
Okay.
There is something not right in the head about shooting a mass of people. And now, I mean, I'm not going to get into gun rights. There are definitely things that can always be fixed and everything, but it's all here. So we need to fix. We need to help here. We need to help here.
Florida is a state that allows even mentally disabled people to still buy guns.
That's the thing. We need to help up here. And I was talking to my mom about it because I was pissed. I didn't know the details of the Kansas City one yet because we hadn't heard it. It just happened, and I was on the phone, and I was like, Mom, you know me. Like, I'm not like someone who's like against guns or for guns. Like, I don't really have a stance. But I was like, it makes me mad. Like, it makes me, because it happened in Denver when Denver won their championship with the Nuggets. It makes me mad. You can't enjoy anything more. And obviously, like, and a gun kills people, but it's also the person pulling the trigger. So we need to help. We need to help the mind.
But the saddest thing about that to this point is like you see all this stuff that happens on the news, and then your like reaction is just like, oh, another one.
Another one? Did y'all? This is a question I have for y'all. Whenever a while back, whenever the shooting happened at the movie theaters, were y'all scared to go to the movie theaters?
Are you talking about the Joker one or the Dark Knight one? Terrified.
I was terrified for 2 years, and then.
I'm still terrified. I like if they have like the curtains, I won't sit next to that fucking curtain. Fuck that. You don't know what
it's a scary thing. It's a scary thing, but I think it does go back to mental health. There's people that just aren't mentally stable, and that's where the problem comes from.
Well, you can get rid of guns, but if you look at other countries, there's bombings and stabbings. But in America, how do you win? How do you win? That's the thing is you get it. Like, I mean, I got some money back for work for my tuition, and I felt like I was on top of the world. No, things just keep on coming out. Like, how do you win? Like, we've built such a system that shits on other people. I mean, watch The Wolf of Wall Street. He's getting rich off shitting on other people. So it's like, how do you win? Besides, like, you can't realistically. I try to live my life every day trying to be a good person. You really can't. You got to screw someone over. So screw someone else over.
If you're gonna become rich,
there is
even get to stable. Like at this point in America, to even get financially stable, you got to do something not amazing.
I saw something the other day. It was like if your parents made $80,000 back in like 2000, you'd have to make $262,000 a year to live the same lifestyle.
That's crazy.
And I don't think anybody talks about that enough, man. Like,
I'm over here not even making $20K a year.
Yeah,
none of us are smart enough to. I mean, no one in this room. I love you guys. We're not smart enough to fix it. I couldn't tell you what to fix. I can just tell you it sucks ass.
We're just three dudes on a podcast talking about our feelings and thoughts.
We're three dudes on a podcast. Honestly, I hope this goes somewhere. Because I have podcasts that I love, and they make good money from it.
Well, on to a little lighter subject.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen the new POTUS 45s?
Hey,
I'm gonna look at my list real quick. We talk about this.
My boy Trump's bugging with those, bro.
Here we go. Just a little reminder. That's how they look like. Need Kaleb for you too. So we got 3 versions.
I saw the thing talking about because Nick Bosa. He's like apparently the most racist person in the NFL. I saw a thing, but they were like Nick Bosa was gonna wear those.
Bro, if I was gonna rock one, saying that I ever would, I'd rock the gold joints.
Bro, those look like
or these?
No, the bottom gold joints.
Yeah, that's the ones I saw. Those ones I saw. They could have looked like like when soccer cleats do the little.
Aren't they like $600 something?
$600.
They're pretty pricey.
You paying for Trump's name on that bitch?
My ex girlfriend, because we've come from a really, really, really conservative area. Her grandparent, they taught like it was like crazy. Like they owned hundreds of guns. They had a platinum gold $3,000 Trump gun. You put Trump's fucking face on anything.
The little Chicago Trump gun that came out?
I don't know, man, but they maybe shoot it.
So
and I was like, this feels wrong and racist.
So the normal red and white ones are only $200, and then the solid gold ones are $9,000.
$9,000?
Bro, and they shit on Yeezy.
Hey, bro, I told you I'm rocking them solid gold joints.
Bro, you pull up in those, that's money right there.
Well, they're Trump signed though, so.
Oh, they're signed by Trump? I don't want.
I met Trump.
I'm just kidding.
I mean, if we were talking about like Trump from Home Alone 2, then that's a different story.
Hey, bro, Trump in Home Alone 2 was the homie. What are you talking about? He was the homie back in Home Alone 2.
He helps Kevin. I have a question, though.
Helps Kevin.
Ian, why are you at peace?
Oh, yeah.
Ian, you put on your story the other day. It was a very pretty picture. I you were at the CPA, and you said, this is the first time in my life, or this is the first time in a long time I feel at peace. Why do you feel at peace?
Dude, I don't know, man. I walked out. I went and played basketball. And I haven't been being super physical here lately. Naturally, I feel like physical activity helps me calm down. I went there, played basketball, hit a game winner, the last game, walked out, was getting ready, called my dad, was like, Dad, you want to throw some baseball when I get home? He was like, no. I was like, all right, cool. So I sat down on the soccer field, and I was like, I just sat there, and I was soaking up some sun. I was off from work, my relationship. I feel like I found someone that not only is the other half of me, but like also my calm. Like I can go to her and be the most angry, and again, going back to confiding in somebody, I could be the most pissed off, angry person. As soon as I see her smile, it's like I can feel a weight lift off my chest. I'm
glad you feel about that way about me, dog. Baby. I feel the same way about you, honey boo.
Thank you, big dog. I do too. But I don't know, man. It's just for the first time in a long time, I took a breath of fresh air, and it just felt different.
I gotta say, that is where that field, because you know where it is.
Yeah,
that is some of my favorite moments of all time. I've been on that field. Obviously because it's when I'm playing soccer. When I play soccer, that's when I'm at my happiest.
Yeah,
but it's always that field. I just sit there, and the sunset's always gorgeous.
Quick question for you, man.
Yeah.
Like you talked to me about your soccer playing days. Did you ever get a goodbye from your sport?
No,
I didn't either.
No, I had horrible. Which I mean, I'm still continuing the sport because I'm going a different route. I'm coaching. I'm thrilled. I'm so excited. Obviously, I'm
proud of you.
There's been a few things. I think
so proud of you.
I think I talked about on the last podcast. It
might have been in it. It might not have been included, but if you want to just repeat it real quick.
Well, this could get resolved. Things happen. Communication sometimes lacking. But the coach who I was supposed to go work under went to a different school, and now I don't know what's up. He won't return, and the other school doesn't have a head coach. So I don't know if I still have a spot. So I'm really scared. But the thing is, I'm still coaching during the summer for a semi-pro team, which I'm hyped. First year that they exist. I mean, the coach and I, we have a good relationship right now.
So proud of my boy.
I'm excited, but no, I did not get a goodbye, and
Does it make you angry?
It does, because I mean, obviously, I'm going to be coaching, and that's the most exciting. I'm so excited because I don't have to abuse my body. And the thing is I can confidently say right now, if I wanted to, I could go back and play. I could probably walk on.
Like a D2 college or something?
I think I'm confident I could walk. If you gave me 2 months to get in shape, I could walk on a D1 school. I think I could. Which I've given it thought. My girlfriend was like, why don't you just attempt to play again? But the thing about soccer of all sports, it's you got to abuse your body, but you also got to abuse your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Because the thing about basketball, it's 5-on-5. You got 4 other guys that yell at you. Soccer, that is 10 other people who are screaming at you the entire time. And
then you have some random dude on the sideline yelling at you too.
So you have 10 people you don't know. Because if you're pulling up for these tryouts, my soccer, it was weird because when I was in 10th and 11th grade, I was popping. I was on Max Prep's list. I was super excited. I thought I was going to go somewhere, and then COVID hit, destroyed my season. And then I didn't really understand the recruiting process because I was the first person in my family that ever played soccer, so I didn't understand it. So then my route was just go straight pro. I was close. I will say I was close.
Yeah, I remember you telling me some stories.
I was very close.
I
had 2 offers to go play semi-pro, which was going to lead. Like obviously, that was going to lead some. It's the biggest semi-pro league in America. I mean, like 60 guys from there got drafted in the MLS Super Draft this year. And then things just sometimes shit doesn't work out. Which reality, I mean, now that I look back, I mean, I was supposed to move to Alabama. I got assigned to the team in Birmingham. Moved to Birmingham. I don't meet the person I'm with now.
That's true.
I stick with the person I was with in the past, and I'm miserable. Or her and I break up, and I'm just single in Alabama by myself.
No friends, no family.
The closest person I know is 3 hours from there.
Yeah.
So things could be different. But no, I didn't get a goodbye, and it sucks because no matter what I went through in life, I knew. Because I was never the smartest. I mean, I was a smart guy, but I just didn't give a shit about school. So it was like, no matter what, if I had a shitty day at work, I had a shitty do this, I could go touch a ball and do anything I want. Because I can do anything in the ball that I can put my mind to. I can put it anywhere I want. I can do anything I want with it. Like, I knew it.
So crazy that you say that. Him talking about soccer feels like he's talking through me about baseball.
It's the one thing you've done it your entire life, and you can do it. Obviously, you're not the best in the world. It takes a lot to be the best in the world, but you just know that you could confidently, like, if I think in my head, I want to do this, I can go do it. At work, not necessarily you can get everything done. It's a little hard. Like at school, like you can't always solve this math problem. When I go to my sport, I gotta do whatever I want. I'm gonna do it perfectly.
Something you said that I thought was really beautiful before we started the podcast was they were setting everything up in here for us to shoot today. And me and him were just watching Gabe, and he looked so happy, like just messing around with all this technical stuff. And like I walked in here and I was amazed, and like seeing him work was something that he was passionate about, like made me happy.
I think
made Kaleb happy too, just seeing that.
It's cool because I mean, obviously you and I hang out outside of work a lot. I mean, we've been out to B-dubs and stuff, but it's cool because when we're at work,
only
we're
on
all
Tuesdays
there.
and Thursdays.
Only Thursdays. What are you talking about? Because when you're at work, you only see someone in one light. You see him in a blue shirt, or green shirt. We don't know which sports retail work it is.
Blue, green, orange.
You see them in the same shirt, the same pants every single day doing the same job.
And with a shitty attitude because no one wants to be there.
With a shitty attitude. I've seen you pissed before. But it's so cool because it's like you only see that person as worker. But it was cool. Ian and I were just sitting watching you, and it's like you're in your element. Because I know you work these concerts and stuff at school, but I've never actually seen you do them. I've seen you up on stage and stuff. But it was like, this is crazy that like he works here and we have the same mind about thing, but he is a genius in this.
Yeah, like
so everyone has their own talent. And everyone has their own thing. Their own little thing about it.
Mine is squirting.
All right, that's all you'll say. We don't need to get more into that, and that's it. But
dealing with all the like just asshole customers we deal with on the daily, I've been waiting for one of them to just come back in with a gun and be like, customer service dude, you gone.
Especially since Tennessee's an open carry. I mean, it is 10 times a day you see someone with a gun on their head.
Well, dude, like just even
I see people with guns all the time at the gun bar.
Yeah, what does it take for you to...
Question, how come people can bring guns into the store and they have to have them unloaded to get them worked on, but if it's on their hip...
Exactly.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, that's what I thought, because I saw people coming up to the gun counter and they had their guns and we never escorted them up there, so I'm just like, wait, so when do we have to escort?
When they
have the gun out, I guess.
But they'll be like, whoa, but they have it on their side right there.
Yeah, there's nothing stopping it from just someone just click, there you go.
And the thing is, at our workplace, that has literally almost happened.
Yeah, that's we've had a scare with that before.
More than one.
I think we talked about it.
I've been in more than one.
Even at Dick's Sporting Goods, man, I had this. There's a grandma coming up. She's buying this little kid all this shit he wanted. He's spoiled, rotten little brat. And I myself, I was like, this kid deserves to get whipped. But they walked out, and apparently he was yelling at his grandma for not buying him the shit he wanted, even though like I just checked him out for like $800 worth of stuff. And some crackhead walked up with a machete, pulled a machete out.
What is up with you machetes?
I don't know, bro. But something around that sports retail place and machetes. But anyway, he pulled a machete out and was like, hey, respect your grandma or I'm going to fuck you up. And assistant manager, I didn't know this was going on. My assistant manager ran out in the parking lot and calmed down the situation and like called the cops because this crackhead was real serious about respect to elders. I'll tell you that. He was real serious.
I mean...
I killed my grandma and I regret it every day.
If I was hooked up on crack, I would probably do the same thing. I was like, hey, you spoiled little bitch.
Yeah, you spoiled little bitch. She just bought you $800. I can't afford to make double. Tell her thank you.
If I was on crack, I would conquer racism.
All right. And on that note,
thank you for listening to the latest episode of Down to Earth. We really appreciate everybody involved, everybody that helped set up our studio. Wesley.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Are you guys else okay with saying your name on here? So we got Wesley, Jonah, Omar, Jordy, and Brandon. They all helped us set this up and really appreciate for everything you guys did.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
Crazy. I don't expect us to be invited back, but I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's all right.